I'm not the kind of girl that really wants to get married, that really has her heart set on a wedding and a marriage and all those things. Like, I don't want to get married. And don't get me wrong, I do, I do, I do want to have a relationship. I would have a relationship, a long term, long lasting relationship with somebody. It's just, I feel like marriage, marriage doesn't even do anything. Marriage does nothing. Like, marriage, I feel like most of the time causes more problems than solves them. Don't get me wrong. I wouldn't just start. I wouldn't trick off the rest of my life. I wouldn't be like the female Hugh Hefner or whatever for the rest of my life. But I don't want to get married. Like I said, I do want a long term relationship with somebody one day. But I just don't ever I don't ever see myself getting married. And like I talk to adults and stuff, and they're like, "Oh, you're young, you're gonna change your mind." I don't think I'm ever gonna change my mind. I really don't ever think I'm gonna change my mind when it comes to marriage, because at the end of the day, like I said, marriage just causes more problems than anything else. I think that marriage is kind of cracky. I don't really understand the concept of marriage. I don't understand why if you want to spend the rest of your life with somebody, why not just do it? Why do you have to get married? Why do you have to go through all that for what? For what? And I was talking about it today, and I'm talking about it on Facebook when I am with my friend. And but today at school, the boy, he was just like, "Oh, you get married when you want to spend the rest of your life with somebody." And I was like, "But why? Have a ceremony, do all that for what? For what?" And he was just like, "So you can celebrate that day, that you guys got married, blah, 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 and show everyone." I'm thinking, like, I've made points about that to people before, like, if you really honestly want to prove to people how you feel about somebody, if you really honestly want to prove to the world that you love somebody, like, you don't have to have a big old ceremony. Like, you don't have to do that. Because they're expensive. And I don't think that, I just think that I don't like what marriage has become, really. I don't like the whole idea of marriage. I really understand the concept. Of course, I understand it, but I don't understand why somebody would go out and get married. Like, whose idea was that to one day and just be like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna get married," which legally binds us to each other for the rest of our lives. Like, we're like this forever. Like, I don't. Whose idea was that? Like, I don't get it. I don't understand why anybody wanted to get married. I don't understand why so anybody would, I just don't understand that concept, honest. I don't. And people, like I said, are always, all the time telling me, "Oh, you're going to change your mind, you're going to change your mind." I don't think I'm ever going to change my mind. I really don't, because I just don't see the point in it, honestly. It just doesn't, I don't know, just marriage just doesn't, it isn't my thing, it isn't my scene. And then on top of that, like, when I'm ready to leave, like, if I want to leave, it's so much easier to leave a marriage it's so much easier to leave a relationship, a regular boyfriend-girlfriend relationship, than to leave a marriage. It is. And in Maryland, living with somebody for 6.5 years considers you to be a common law marriage. So, technically, if I live with somebody for that long amount of time, technically we would be married. I just don't want that status with somebody. I don't. I wouldn't want somebody. I just don't want to be tied down, honestly. And I know that sounds like, "Oh, you're gonna go trick off." Like, no, I wouldn't trick off. I'm not the type of person to just go off and trick off and just do all types of crazy slutty stuff. That shit just scares me. I wouldn't just go off and do all this crazy slutty stuff. Like, I'm not asking to be free to go off and be a slut. I just want the option to leave when I'm ready to leave, and not have to go through all the lawyers and court and bullshit and a judge and all that stuff. Spending more money, probably more money on the damn wedding, on the damn divorce, when I'm ready to leave. And then I really just don't get it. I just don't understand why somebody would want to get married. I just don't get it. I know I never want to get married, and I hope to find somebody one day who feels the same way I do, who's pretty set in their ways, who's pretty set, like, "Oh, I'm never getting married." I really hope to find somebody like that, because I really don't ever want to get married. I just want to have a long-term relationship. And I don't want to find somebody that's like, "Oh, no, I don't want to get married. I just want to fuck all the time." Like, I don't want to fuck somebody all the time. I just want to find somebody to spend the rest of my life with, but without the whole everything of a marriage. And I don't understand. Like, I don't get why you'd want to do that. You feel me? Like, I feel like marriage causes more problems and more drama and more bullshit than it would if you were single, or not single, but just in a relationship. Like, it, to me, I don't know. And then the boy in my class, he was like, I was cold and I was kind of heartless, and I was like, I don't really see how. I don't really see how I'm cold and or heartless. I really don't see how you come to that conclusion, because I don't want to get married. I don't feel like I'm cold and heartless. I just feel like I know what I want and I know what I don't want, and I don't want to get married. I never want to get married. I just don't understand it, honestly. But honestly, like, I don't know if you guys can see, but okay, that's my grandmother and my grandfather. I'm adopted. That's my grandmother and my grandfather. They are married forever before he died, and I think that's a beautiful thing, be with one person first. I think that's what it was about when they first got married. I think that's what it was about. When they first got married, it's just about being with that one person, committed to that one person for the rest of your life. These days, marriage has become so much more than that. It's become so crazy. I really don't understand. I really just don't want to get married. I don't understand why anybody else would want to get married. I don't understand why anybody else would waste their time or their money. If you want to spend the rest of your life with somebody, then go ahead and spend the rest of your life with somebody. I know some of y'all probably would say, well, married people get to decide for their spouse, and, you could be living with somebody for 20 years and they won't be able to decide. Well, if it's legally, I can get a lawyer and draw up some papers and be like, if anything, in the case anything happens to me, and this motherfucker's still alive, let him decide for me what I want, and they'd have to fight because that's my wish, that's my legal, thing that, like we've had witnesses and stuff like that, like, they have to follow that because that legally is what I want them to do. And they can't throw it out because whatever. But I don't want to ever. I'm never gonna get married. And I know there's probably some of you guys out there that have a very strong opinion about it, about me and getting married, or not me, about marriage itself and the wedding and stuff itself. And if you have an opinion, let me know. Subscribe. I can't stress that enough. The link is right there. Right above here. Boop. In my mind, I just touched the link. Comment. I left you my Facebook and my Twitter on another video. I think it was why I take my advice. But I'll leave the links again. Hit me up on Twitter. Send me a personal message on Twitter. Tweet me. Hit me up on Facebook. But if you do hit me on Facebook, you have to add me. Because I don't accept messages or anything from anybody who doesn't add me. Who I'm not a friend with. Or hit me up on here. You guys can always hit me up on here. Always. But yeah. That's just how I feel. I don't see the point of it. I don't see why. I think it's pointless. I think and I think that divorce, it's pointless. I think that divorce is the smartest thing, but it's so hard to go through. I know you take vows till death do us part, but if someone cheats on you, or someone's not who they say they were, why? Like in my state, I think in my state they have mandatory couples counseling for, I think, 6 months or something like that. I think in Maryland, I don't know. I'm not too sure. That's what I think it is. 6 months mandatory, 6 months couples counseling, which means basically you have to stay with that person for 6 months and stay with them for 6 months and try to work it out. If it doesn't work, you get the divorce. I think that's what it is. I'm not too sure. Don't quote me because I'm not too sure. I probably should have looked that up before I did this video. But yeah, I just don't believe in marriage. I really don't believe in it. I really don't understand why anybody would want to get married. And a lot of times with divorce or whatever, you've already decided that, this is it. I'm about to leave. You don't want anybody else and you don't want to have to be with that person for 6 extra months if it is what it is in my state. You don't want to have to stay in a relationship where you're not happy. A lot of times, because a lot of times divorce isn't a split second decision, but it's not normally a rash decision. It's pretty thought out, pretty, you've thought about it for a while, you've, debated it, and you've come to the conclusion that you're not happy anymore. You just want to get a divorce. But I want to hear your opinion about this. I really do. Like I said, subscribe to my videos. Next video I make is probably how to not cheat on your girl. Pretty funny. It's been pretty funny. You wouldn't know when it comes up unless you subscribe. Subscribe, comment. I want to hear your feedback. I do. So, subscribe, comment, whatever, what have you. Hit me up on here. Send me a message. Comment. I've had plenty of comments on another video of mine. I forgot what it's called. How to really keep your man from cheating. I've gotten plenty of comments on that about stupid shit. I'm gonna block some people. Anyway, you will get blocked. You piss me off, and you will get blocked. I'm so serious. But yeah. So, in all honesty, though, I won't block you 9 times out of 10. But this guy really just pissed me off, so I was just like, or this girl, or I don't know what it was, I don't know if it was a guy or a girl, but they really pissed me off, so I just blocked them and deleted the comments. You probably can't see, you can see what I respond back to them, but you can't see what they said to me. I'm gonna wrap this up, because my IM is blowing up. Like, you know how it flashes, like, such and such messaged you, 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 and it just keeps flashing. That's how people message me. So yeah. That's how I feel. Like I said, I'll leave my Twitter link and I'll leave my Facebook link in the description box, which is right down below. Subscribe. And it's right up here. Boop. Just press it. Boop. And leave comments, questions, concerns, tips. Be constructive. Like, don't be an asshole. Don't be an asshole. Like, this one guy, he said, "Oh, I can barely hear you," and I'm like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I knew that was like, I'm trying to work on that. I know you guys can't hear me sometimes, so I'm really trying to work on that. But don't be an asshole. Don't say anything asshole like. I really will just. I won't respond, or I just will delete your comment and block you. So, just don't be an ass. I'm gonna wrap this up now. So, I'm wrapping it up. Like I said, check the description box for my Twitter and for my Facebook. Let me know how you feel about the subject. I really, honestly, truthfully want to know how you, the YouTube viewers, feel about, excuse me, that was gross, feel about getting married and marriage, and would you ever get married? So, but yeah, let me know, I'm out, so, here's some love.